Namaste, and we are back with another exciting episode of the Ghana Premier League podcast. That is a Rough Tackle podcast. And today, I'm here with, if I see my senior colleagues, Augustine will laugh, but over the weekend, we saw some crunch games in the Ghana Premier League where Hearts of Oak drew goalless to Hearts of Lions in the Battle of Hearts, and then Kotoko beat Nations FC for the very first time, 3-0 at Barbara Sports Stadium. We delve into those games quickly, but before that, let's talk about what happened on Friday where Hearts of Lions faced off with Hearts of Oak at the Pando Sports Stadium. Augustine, I don't actually remember your prediction for that game, but for the first time in a very long time, both games, that is the Battle of Hearts, have ended in goalless draws. That's the one at the Accra Sports Stadium and then Pando, both 0-0 draws. Were you surprised?
No, not at all. Let me remind you of my prediction.
Okay.
Right. So I told you the best out of what could get on the day is a draw.
Yeah.
Right. And things actually did play out quite well, because if there had to be a team to win that game, it was obviously going to be Hearts of Lions. I was in Pando on that day, before the game, during the game, and after the game. You could tell that the Hearts of Lions guys just had one mission, and beat Kotoko and Hearts of Oak in Pando, and then just take your flowers. It was just unfortunate that he couldn't get the win, but Shifo did everything he could. But then it was just unfortunate. Michael Lefson and the other guys up front couldn't convert the chances that they created. We barely saw Hearts of Oak create like clear-cut chances.
Right.
Yes, and that's actually problematic. As a big club like Hearts of Oak, you don't go to Pando, and then I think this also means that they are still yet to beat Hearts of Lions in Pando since they came back to their league. And I always say one thing, that big teams in a league do go to venues where getting even a point or getting to a maximum point seems impossible, and then they go there, tell them that I'm the big team. I'll come for the 10 maximum points. But Hearts of Oak have actually shown that they are not that big team. Because we always say they are the best away team. Yeah. Right?
They've won 6.
And you look at it, is just because our teams are just poor on the road.
Okay.
Right. And their away games that they failed to win are also at venues where these teams do take games very serious when they're playing at home. I mean, yes. Because we talk about Tamale, Medeama, BBNE, and all these are venues where if your team really wants to win the league, you go there, you play a commanding game, a scintillating one, of course, and then get a maximum point. By the start of Folk, you don't expect much from them. And then if Hamza is saying that let's do something like part one, Asari will finish the game. Yeah, so that's what we got on Friday.
Victor, I don't want us to dwell so much on the Hearts of Oak problem that is the attacking, because throughout this season, throughout several episodes of this particular podcast, we've discussed that, in details, but it looks as if last season they had a scoring problem. And I keep saying this because, look, when Great Olympics were relegated, Medeama kept 16 clean sheets in the league. I think that season that was joint most in the league. Yeah. But they were still relegated because at the time the likes of Glasina Waku, I think the first half of the season they had Ajiman Bedu in there, even Abetamwa.
He came the second half.
This was the second half of the season.
There was Emmanuel.
They have so many players, but they couldn't convert their chances.
Maxwell Shokan. No, Shokan wasn't there.
And then I think at the back they had Raymond Oku Gripman.
Yes. So
he was the captain at the time, right?
No.
He wasn't the captain, but he was part of the
team. Yeah. So they had all these players, but they were simply relegated because they were not converting their chances. It was easy as that. So for Hearts of Oak, yes, you could say they are fourth. They've conceded only nine goals in 26 games. That is very impressive. But the fact that they are not scoring goals, if I ask what is the issue, because it seems like Didi doesn't even know what the issue is.
No, Didi knows what the issue is, and everybody who watches the Ghana Premier League knows what Hearts of Oak's issue is. The issue is that they don't have top strikers before they were hit with a transfer ban, right. And it has been their bane right from the Galka top four till now. And if you listen to Didi after every game, he keeps telling the media, our problem is one. We need to score goals. Our midfielders are creating chances. It gets to the final third, and then they are not able to put the ball at the back of the net. Even in this game against Pando Hearts of Lion, when you listen to Abdul Ghazali, that halftime assistant coach pep talk with Mutala.
Yeah.
He did mention it that they are creating chances again, but their men in front are not just getting the job done for them. So it just tells you, and heading into next, as for this season, it's almost wrap up, and we have said that if House of Folk had got a quality front line like the other clubs, like BBN Gold Stars, who have attacked Kumi and the rest, Kotoko themselves, who is having Abet Amado is back into Ghana Premier League to find his foot. If they were able to have strikers of that caliber, House of Folk should be leading the Ghana Premier League block by now, because with the clean sheet they've been able to keep, it is not just about the clean sheet Benjamin Asari is having, but it's also buttressed by the fact that they don't also concede.
Right.
So if they are keeping clean sheet and they're also not conceding, and they are able to put away a lot of balls against their opponent, they should be firmly at the top of the Ghana Premier League law. But the problem is that they've not dealt with the transfer ban. Maybe we'll see when the season ends, they'll try to have some chat about how to resolve that issue, and then we'll see what happens next season. But don't forget that when you look at the standings, it is still open until the final is still.
I mean, they're not so far off, just 4 points, right? But you're talking about when the season ends, and this is something I want us to talk about, because I remember when Delali was here on this particular culture one time, he mentioned that one of the major problems facing Ghana football has to be the striking department. Because even now, when you look at our national team, right? Who is our Arsenal striker? No one.
Yeah, maybe Brandon Thomas Asante, I mean, proper for now.
Yeah.
Antoine Semenyo is not even a proper for it.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
So when you say when the season ends, maybe they are able to sort out their transfer ban and all of that, right? Who are they going to get? Because Augustine will tell you that no top club, BBN Gold Stars, are not going to allow Samuel Sakumi to leave. Neither will Idriana leave. Emmanuel Malfoy.
No, he's not going to.
It's not going to happen. So, which other strikers? I mean, potent strikers can also actually push into their mix?
Well, when you get there, for now, it's very, very difficult to say. Players, you cannot predict players. Right. I'm telling you. Before the start of this season, there were players, I was in talks with top players who have just left the top position of the Ghana Premier League. They were very ready to move. Very, very ready to move. To you, they are not ready. You may think they are not ready to move, but the money and their agents, when the money is good, you see them want to move, especially when you have Kotoko and you have Hacks in the equation. Though these two big clubs for some time now have not been fair to some of the players. The way they've handled some of the players' issues is not the best. But you cannot take away anything from their credibility. They are still the two big clubs in the country. So let's see how it pans out. But I think it's too early. Even if they will not get players from the Ghana Premier League, they can still go out there, flex their muscle, like the way Kotoko sometimes these days brings in more
foreign players.
We saw this Ugandan boys, Stephen Mukwala and the rest, who came in to complement them. So let's see, even if they are unable to get good players in the Ghana Premier League, they can still go out there and sign some quality players. The emphasis on quality, because recently we've seen House of Folk go to Cote d'Ivoire, bring in striker, nothing for him. So let's see. And they can also nurture players from Auroras. Hamza have given us a few glimpses. He's been off a bit. He's been off color a bit. But I don't know his problem. Maybe he's not been stable because of this pep talks. Today, it's in the media. He's moving to this place. Today's agent is demanding this. So it doesn't even allow the player the opportunity to focus on his game and deliver for the club. So I think that they would have to iron out these petty issues and see if the great Fabian 3 can be great again.
Okay, Victor, I'll come back to you, but Augustine, let's focus a bit more on the Hamza Issa issue, right? This is a player who was coming in as a substitute, banging the goals, and now he's made the main man, and he can't seem to find the back of the net.
One thing I find it hard to buy is if, and Victor even brought it, when they put Hamza's current form on the fact that there were a lot of speculations around his agent.
So you don't think that comes to play?
Why am I saying this?
Okay.
Last season, were there speculations around him? No. How many goals did he score?
Okay, I get your argument.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So he's just giving us a replica of what he gave us last season.
Right.
So this is it about Hamza. And this is the honest thing, right? Hamza was a baby, okay? And he was chewing bones. So
is the club too big for him? Would you say that? Because it is a different thing when you're coming on as a substitute. I remember, I don't like to make this example, but Oselu at Real Madrid, it was a substitute. He comes in, he banks in the goal. But when you are made the main man to lead the attack, that's a different ball game together.
So
Is the club too big for him?
you would say a club is big for a player
Yeah.
when the demands at the club is very high, but that's not that with Hasselhoff.
Interesting.
Yes. So as I was saying, Hamza was a baby,
Yeah.
and he started chewing bones. So as he was growing, we all thought, oh, Nesanya Ding. And the only the very you can say Kotoko. But he's growing, and then even fishbone is very difficult to chew. Why? Expectation.
Okay.
Expectation. Because he came, we thought, oh, he's a young guy. He's now coming. This is first season. So let's just give him a 5-goal expectation. He scored 13, right?
Yeah.
And the next season, okay. So that was the just 5 season, I think. The next season, come and show us what you've got
As a main man.
as a main man. Because they had this guy from Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina, some striker, Kashala Ramos.
Yeah.
Preseason, he scored like 15 goals. Since he started, this guy go.
It's a different ball
Yeah.
game.
So there was Kashala, Kasim, Sisse. They were all at Azufuku. But they trusted Hamza because of what he did the season before. And then gave him the nod to spearhead the attack. He was not able to give them the numbers. And it's continuing this season. And it's not as if they don't create chances for him. If you watch that folk, right, from game week 1, in every game Hamza plays, they create chances for Hamza. But what happens? And I'll put that on the coaches at the point. Or yes, somehow.
Okay, I was even coming to that because look, Augustine,
Yeah.
it is a different thing. So last season they had a different coach,
Yeah.
right? They were still not scoring. This season a different coach. Shouldn't the problem be on the players? Because now it moves away from just the coaches. Because it's the same players there who are unable to convert the chances. I don't think it's a coaching issue, really.
So the reason I'm saying I might put a part of it on the coaches,
Yeah.
right, is that you saw Hamza last season,
Yeah.
and you knew what he had done last season, right? You were coming this season, you still trusted him to be your main man,
Okay.
right? And mind you, that Heart of Folk transfer ban they are talking about came at the latter part of the transfer window.
yeah.
And before then, they assigned all their players.
I think they were even saying they
Saying
didn't care
that-
so much
yes,
about
yeah,
the ban
they-
because
they are registered all their players. Yes. It meant that they did everything that they wanted to do. You still trusted Hamza to be your main man. The season starts and things are not going. What are you supposed to do as a coach? Add something to him. But have you seen that? No.
Mauli Wayo has also
And-
been very on and off.
And then this is one thing I also think. Hartwig do have a legend in their team. Like when it comes to goal scoring, it's very good. Dombote.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't know the position of Dombote in Hartwig. Youth team coach. What's your attacking department?
They have
It's
a challenge
crying.
there. Okay. I think I get what you're saying, but I mean, Victor, you were saying that the league is still open. Yes, they are 4 points behind the Benin Stars, but do you genuinely believe that are in the race?
Yes, has are in the race, and even you see that is to even say that even the relegation threat outside 11 wonders, even anybody can still go down because when you check the point gap between even Sweden All Blacks and then even those who are down there, it's just 1 point difference.
Yeah.
So look, right from the 17th position all the way maybe up to where even Hearts of Folk is, nobody is safe.
Yeah.
So the league is very, very open. But the problem is, what will Hearts need to win the league?
They need to score.
Keep clean sheet, and they need to score. And the scoring has been their big issue.
And that's my question.
Great.
Now they are not scoring. So do you think that with this current, challenge that they are in, right? Do you think they actually a contender in there?
Yeah, they are still content. I cannot say for a fact that they are not content. You know why? When it matters most for Medeama FC, that was leading the league log with so many points, and you expected them to win some matches, at least to solidify their status as Ghana Premier League leaders heading into the last few games we have. We've seen them lose about 6-7 games on the bounce, draw here and there, lose matches when you don't expect them to lose. That scenario can still play out in the last 8 games of the season. So it will be out of place for me to say, no, I will not give them chance. What about if we have Gold Stars losing their next 4 games? We have Medeama dropping point, we have Kotoko dropping point, and we have Hearts winning their games. So, it's just 4 points. It is not 12 points or it is not 15 points. And there are still games. We have 8 games, as big as 8 games. If the top sport team, that is Medeama, BBN Gold Star, as it stands, lose their next 3 games continuously and they have Hearts winning, already they've even overtaken them. So I think it's a matter of permutation, and that tells you, people will say the Ghana Premier League I mean, it's not competitive, but it's also to tell you that it is not as if it's not competitive, because if your top team against the bottom stack side are losing games, it tells you that Obia League is just like the MTN Cup, Obia, and tells you the kind of league we are playing in this country. Though we have got our issues, strikers are very bad in this country. Some goalkeepers absolutely very crazy. You expect them to save, they are not saving. Some of the midfielders they overrun their bounds. We have all these issues, but we cannot say that the league is not tough. It's tough.
Right. I mean, the perfect, capture of that particular statement is that the fact that 11-1 actually drew 2-2 with Samantes on Saturday. But then on Sunday, something special happened. Of course, Sunday special. All the home teams won.
Oh, wow.
All the home teams won on Sunday. In fact, on March 26th, no home team lost. So there were 2 draws on Saturday, no, on Friday rather, right? And then on Sunday, all the home teams won.
Yeah.
6. No, I think 7.
7. Yes.
All the 7 home teams won. That is very classic GPO.
Oh, it's not surprising.
It's not surprising.
You look at the fixtures, right? Dreams had to play Medeama.
Yeah, let's start with that game.
Okay, Dreams had to play Medeama.
You were very, sure that they were going to be there.
Of course. if you understand
you get some results for some
if you understand the dynamics of the GPL, right? You know that Dreams at Tuba at this point of the season, they play like that Pep Guardiola Barcelona. Forget. They'll beat you.
With a drama way you elevate her like that.
You never go.
So if I don't want you elevate her, go Pep level.
And it has also gotten to a point where Medeama were winners in their last 5 games.
Yeah.
And I watched Dreams versus Adriana at Tuba, right? And that was enough to convince me that almost everything that versus they go collect. They scored early in the game.
Yeah. But the second goal, Augustine, I don't know what the defender was doing. He literally let John Entry bully him and then square it off for, what was his name?
Abdul Razak
Salifu. So that was very poor from the defender.
It is John Entry.
Come on, but
no.
So, the more better. Look, there was no need for him to try to win the ball in year 10. He could have just, put it out of play. So that was the easiest option.
So one thing most of our players or our defenders fail to do is that they fail to do the simple things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All you need to protect his post, make sure the ball goes out of play. Your defenders fall back. And it becomes an attacking throw. That's the best to defend.
It also tells you that at this point of the season, Dreams relies on experience. If you watch Dreams, like I guess I've said, in the last 3 seasons, I don't know what happens to them normally in the first
on the start and in the start of the season.
Half of the
and
season.
Me, I'm not surprised
and
because
in the second half. Don't try.
I'm not surprised because during the start when they were struggling, I think they went about 4 or 5 games without a win. And I was speaking to Felix Romark and some of the other top guys. And then Romark was telling me that, look, it is for Dreams, it's a different ball game because, look, when teams are struggling and they have on-field issues and off-field issues, it's difficult for them to bounce up because, one, you're not performing on the field. Outside the field, you also have issues there. But for Dreams, off-field, they are sorted. So all they needed to do was focus and then get the performance right on the field. So Felix Romark told me, like, look, Mandela, don't worry, these guys are going to bounce back. And people, you know how Ghanaians are. When Dreams were struggling, people kept saying, no matter what, they're not going to go to relegation because of whatever affiliation that they have. Yeah. And I think that is, sorry to say, that is nonsense because, look, these guys have shown that they can actually beat the top teams. Yeah. And they beat the league leaders on Sunday.
But one thing that Dreams didn't get at the start of the season was to play at Tuba. If you remember, they started their first home game at Tema, where they had to beat them by goal and say Mohamed go. And they then came to University of Ghana. Yes, so
I think they went to the University of Ghana sometime because of the TV games. So they had like a TV game, they go there.
So they went to University of Ghana. Before they, I think, lost some games. I think they even lost All Blacks.
Yeah, so All Blacks. Yeah.
So it was after that game they were like, no, let's go back home. And that is Tuba. And yes, they don't just win the games, right? If you watch the highlight of that game, they created chances. Yeah. They played very well. And I believe that they've actually mastered how to play this part of the season. And I've always been saying that when the second part of the season is about to start, right? Team managers, team owners, they go to a board and then list the fixtures. And they allocate the possible points they can get. They'll be like, we try this one.
It's 11-1 is there.
So I believe Amin Shadow and then Eddie Domon, they had listed that Medeama game as a possible 3 points. and they got it. I'm not
And
surprised.
and you have to be you see it's not just about listening. The issue is that you have to be realistic as a team. You know for sure that there are some of the teams per your head to head or per how the team is playing as the season unfolds. This team is a team that you can nest 3 points from. I mean, it's 11 wonders. In fact, though Medeama is not bad.
Going
into next week, I expect Medeama at least to pick some point against 11 wonders. Yes, they are bottom side.
Yeah.
And look at the situation of Medeama at the moment. If they need to pick some points. So at least you pinpoint some of the games. Reason why Hearts of Oak and then Pandu Hearts of Lion. You saw even after the game, the two coaches were satisfied because they know that Hearts knows it's a difficult ground to win to win game. Hearts of Lion knows that Hearts of Oak is a team that can upset you at any venue. So to get at least a point from those games,
it's fair.
You must be grateful.
And speaking of head-to-head, before Sunday, Kotoko have never beaten Nations FC in a Garden City in the B. And after 6 attempts, they actually managed to trash them 3-0 at the Baba Yara. I don't think any Kotoko fans saw that coming.
I'm not a Kotoko fan, but I saw it coming.
It's always coming.
Yeah.
I mean, in as much as Nations have been very bad on the road, I think they've only picked up a victory on the road against 11 Wonders. 11 Wonders again. But
and they were unbeaten in 4 games.
Yeah.
Proud to that fixture.
Yeah.
So,
but you saw that coming.
Yeah. Why? Because this is a Kotoko side that had actually been on a very rough patch, right? And then the Nations FC team, result was some good players they have, are bad on the road. I've been saying this time and time again, right? And at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, in the league, how many games have you seen Kotoko lose at the Baba Yara Stadium? The league games, apart from Hearts of Oak. Okay, so it means that they can be a bad side, but when it comes to Baba Yara, it's very difficult to win a game there. And Nations FC obviously was not that team to go and beat them there. If Hearts of Oak should go to Baba Yara and beat Kotoko, it's understandable,
right?
But not Nations FC, because it might transcend what we see on the pitch, right? And the game was a very tight game. I mean, Nations created some clear-cut chances. They hit the woodwork and
Kotoko 2 penalties.
Yes, but then what happened later stages of the game changed everything. And someone might look at the 3 and be like, "Hey, a game there for 4-4." No, it wasn't like that. It was a very close game. Just that the last 5 or 10 minutes of the game just favored Kotoko because they tried someone like Morphine Donzo who ran through the channels. When Nations FC, they just decided to attack them. He was running the channels, getting the penalties. There was somebody in himself to convert them, and he did absolutely that. You don't need to play the best of football in every game to get a maximum points. And that's one thing I liked about Prince also on Sunday. And it's fine. We beating Nations FC at home. Finally, something that they really wanted to get. And they've gotten it.
Right. And now Kotoko have to third on the league log, just 4 points, or should I say, I think they are 4 points behind BBNE, right?
Yeah.
So 42 and then 46, right?
Yeah, tied on same points
as of Oak, yeah. So third and fourth, respectively.
Yes.
Yeah.
But quick one. I think, I guess I've mentioned their field issues. I think of the field issues, there are a lot that also played into the game. The fact that Kotoko is setting up a new board. And we know what happens with Kotoko and House of Oak. Anytime there's a new board, players are always on the red alert because if you don't take time, you'll be giving a marching order to the club. They will list players that you are not fit for Kotoko. So, in fact, you need to impress the new people that have been appointed by the life patron of the club. You need to impress them. And I think that it was a perfect opportunity to impress the new appointment by Kotoko. And also the fact that even the coach himself knows that his job was on the line.
Right.
If he fails not to win that particular game, I mean, maybe the Kotoko people will pardon him to finish the season, but when he's done with the season, he himself would have sent some of the things back to Tema, waiting just to join his luggages in person. I think that it also played, and proud to the game in his pre-match interview, he mentioned it that look, he was so grateful that the new members that have been appointed for that executive board for Kotoko visited the team's training ground, spoke to them, gingered them. The players themselves have promised him that as for this one, they need to win the game because look, the Kotoko players need to win the game. The likes of Kwame Opoku or Poku or whatever he's called, they need to win the game. The likes of Abed Amwa, who is back, is not banking goals. Because we don't bank in the goals, there are new players ready to take up your position.
Right.
And it was a great win for them.
You know what? Personally, I don't think Kotoko have been bad this season at all. I just think that they failed to capitalize on their chances. I think at the point they had about 3 outstanding matches. They failed to win 2. You know, funny thing, you guys kept mentioning the fact that if Arts were banging in the goals, they would have been league leaders. But I think that Kotoko had the best of chances to actually win the title this season.
But the thing is that most people think that this is their worst season because they lost out of
Okay, there's that as well.
Yes, yeah. The issue is that Kotoko scores but concedes. Kotoko is scoring all right, though.
But they are conceding.
They are also conceding.
Same as maybe in good stars. I actually don't think. I mean, maybe Augustine can argue with me on this, but I actually don't think whatever BB good stars are doing is sustainable this season. But I mean, I guess we'll see on March 27. We are starting March 27. I'll come back to that.
and you know Kotoko's team. When you look at the team, people are also disappointed because they had expectations. Because if you have Kamil Poku and Abed Samuel and the rest, Morphine Dozo leading your line,
they should be scoring more.
Manuel Entry. Yeah. Oh, come on.
Okay. All right. So that is it for March 26. March 27 starts on this Friday. We have Medeama up against 11 Wonders at the TNA Park on Friday. And then on Saturday, we have Vision FC up against Basake All Stars. And of course, 7 matches coming up on Sunday special with the game between us of Folk and Shadow All Blast live on TV. So on Friday, we have Medeama 11 Wonders. And then Sunday, us of Folk, Shadow All Blast live on TV3, Onia TV, and then at thesaplus.com. Streaming live on there. Let's start quickly with Friday. Before they mentioned that, I mean, yes, despite 11 Wonders being the whipping boys in this particular season, you still don't think it will be an easy win for Medeama on Friday?
On the flip side, I think it should be an easy win for Medeama. I'm not saying it to be easy because it will be that easy.
That is a game they need to get the point.
But for the players and the coach, Tanko, knowing what, if you've been to TNA, anytime they lose match at that side, there's no celebration in the town. There's no celebration. In fact, Chairman doesn't do a lot of things. And it also means that the players are also losing out on certain allowances and bonuses.
Right.
So if you want to help yourself, better win that game. That is one of the easiest games they can win. Because, I mean, teams have brushed off 11 Wonders, though they are no mean club. But I think that they should help themselves by winning that game.
Okay. I guess the Saturday there is Vision up against Basake. Basake, I've been so much impressed with them this season, especially at home. At the AK, the second arena, 9 matches unbeaten, scored 14 and considered only 2 at home. But unfortunately for them, they are going to Tema this weekend against Vision FC. Vision, they've also been very good at home.
And it's unfortunate because basketball stars are playing away this time around. And Vision FC is also one side that have actually mastered how to play at home because they have a Don who understands the Ghana football.
And they play so well.
Yeah,
they're one of the best teams in the league.
Because they have a very good technical team.
They play so well. When you watch them play, it is so pleasing on the eye.
A very, very good team. They are giving us more of that Wafa vibes, youngsters, like talented players. And then
that's like Meshaka, JT. Like they possess the ball so well. It's very
and the coach who understands the ball, he doesn't do jirgogo things. He teaches you, he understands tactics, and I think that's what we are seeing from them. Even if there are games where they would lose, draw, but then when it comes to I don't know if they've lost more than a game because the only game I remember them losing at home was that game against Medeama.
Yes.
So it means for Vision, it's going to be very difficult for a team like Basake. Basake should be smiling even if they're able to get a point there.
We've spoken so much about us of four, but if they fail to win against Shadow Blast on Sunday,
it will be a bit disaster. But again, it's the same script they have written for us this season too.
But and even on that, they are going back to Accra Sports Stadium.
Yes.
This is a ground they were not winning game stats, and they were like, "Let's go back to League One." And now they are being forced back to Accra Sports Stadium.
Yeah, I think I heard the players complain that the turf. Last time they met management that the turf is not. They are struggling to control the ball.
The turf at Legon or Accra Sports Stadium.
Legon. So they decide to go back.
Excuses now.
That is their traditional.
I guess the excuses now does. That was the same thing that was happening. You remember before they left the Accra Sports Stadium, the excuse was that they don't know what is happening there. Yeah. But they simply can't win matches there.
Operations,
man.
Yeah.
It's not unfair, no. Operations.
So now that they are back, are they done sorting out the operations issue?
You go and ask
When the first game ends, but look, to be very fair, it's a very difficult game for us of folk against Sweden All Blacks. They are playing some great football, nice football by the tactician, the former Nations FC.
Kansimengo.
Quality coach, understands the game very, very well. And knowing well that Sweden All Blacks themselves are struggling in this season Ghana Premier League. Now, what it means is that if they lose that game, they are dropping straight into the relegation drop zone. And House of Folk themselves know that if they lose that particular game and the other teams like Medeama and the rest win, they are going above them. So I don't know. You can't say you want to see the two teams draw. By all means, somebody wants it more, unless you want it more.
Speaking of Medeama, there's another big one on Sunday against Kotoko. Medeama Kotoko.
It took Kotoko, I think, 10 years
Right.
to even score a goal at Doma.
Adoma.
And then it took them more than that to win a game there. They broke that jinx. And then I think last season, they went, was it last season? Patrick Ezo, last season, the free kick. They went there and then won again. Right, so...
Can they repeat that feat?
It is possible. It is possible. Because Medeama seems to have reduced their targets of the season just to get into the top 4.
Yeah, because I was telling you again, Augustina, whatever they were doing was not sustainable. Scoring late last minute.
This was
Look, they don't play so well. 80th, 85th, they managed to find a way they win.
Because Medeama is a side who scored only 19 goals and won the league. So, if Medeama is a side that's sustainable,
they just won't win.
They just won't win. They scored 19 goals
Right.
in 34 games. They won the league.
But this is in reality showing you.
Yeah, so, and one thing about Doma is that Doma has not been that typical Doma that we used to know. So teams go there, feel free, play beautiful game, and if possible, get results. The result vision have to do that brilliantly. And Medeama now is not that Medeama of the first 10 game weeks of the season. Medeama is a beatable side now, even though they are playing very well. But then the Medeama people, Papa Poku, and whoever is around the team knows that the best way to market their team is to beat Kotoko. They did that in the MTN Cup, and they'll be very glad to do it again.
Okay, we cannot wrap this up without talking about the league leaders. They are going all the way to Tamale. Augustine will tell you, even if you bring Real Madrid, Barcelona, World 11, Tamale, the Kerala will beat you.
Yeah, it's a dreaded ground, very crazy place to play football. And even look at Kerala themselves.
Yeah.
Good form for them. They just lost a game recently.
Yeah.
And aside that having the stain in their shirt, they have looked very resolute under Nuruddin Amadu. Quality players. And you see the Tamale folks, they love football. You see, there are some grounds, it's not even about the team. The players know that after the game is done, you have the fans to contend with. And one of such ground is Tamale. By the time you are done 90 minutes and the fans meet you on the road and they are telling you their mind, you understand that
it's more than a game.
It is not just about your club management, whatever. Doma is a typical example. TNA is, there are some grounds if you are playing, you must know that you must give out your best. You give out your best so that at the end of the game, if you lose, the fans will say that, oh, this one, they're my boy. Just say Ankoye. But the BNE Gold Stars, if they want to win the league, they need to get things done. They need to keep on with the same momentum. And I think that Coach Fritz has done so well after coming in for Frimpong Mansu. Struggled a bit, but he's gotten his rhythm. He has gotten the boys to understand his philosophy, and I think that they are gelling very well. Ask me about the result. I say that there'll be goals in that game, but I cannot tell who wins.
All right, well, on that note, if I also need to keep my job, I think this is where we end the show.
Go.
Because my producer is very... But guys, thank you so much for watching another exciting episode of the Rough Tackle podcast. This is where we end the show. Remember, March 20 service on Friday with Medeama opening the game against 11 Wonders at the TNA Park. And on Saturday, we have Vision FC up against what do you even play? Vision FC, Basake All Stars. And on Sunday, Out of Folk Studio All Blacks at Accra Sports Stadium on TV3, Unia TV, and also streaming live on adesanplus.com at 3 p.m. Catch the live games on there. And also remember that during the week or throughout the week, we'll be sharing highlights of the games on our official social media handles at Ghana League on all platforms, also on YouTube at Ghana League. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and then let's just get interactive on there. Remember, I'm your host for today, or I was your host for today, Mandela Yao Anuvabe. And I sat in for my senior colleague and brother, Mutala Yaku, your regular host. I did this today with Augustine Kwanzaa and the Galamze. Talk about, let's say not nine moves or whatever they said, Chuba. We talk about that, and also with top commentator of the league here in Ghana. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.